In giving freedom to the slave, we assure freedom to the free, honorable alike in what we give, and what we preserve. We shall nobly save, or meanly lose, the last best hope of earth. No man is good enough to govern another man, without that other's consent. I say this is the leading principle, the sheet anchor of American republicanism. You think slavery is right and should be extended, while we think slavery is wrong and ought to be restricted. That, I suppose, is the rub. It certainly is the only substantial difference between us. This is a world of compensations, and he who would be no slave, must consent to have no slave. Those who deny freedom to others, deserve it not for themselves, and, under a just God, cannot long retain it. As I would not be a slave, so I would not be a master. This expresses my idea of democracy. I leave you, hoping that the lamp of liberty will burn in your bosoms until there shall no longer be a doubt that all men are created free and equal. The one victory we can ever call complete will be that one which proclaims that there is not one slave or one drunkard on the face of God's green earth. All I ask for the Negro is that if you do not like him, let him alone. If God gave him but little, that little let him enjoy. If slavery is not wrong, nothing is wrong. Let us remember that all American citizens are brothers of a common country, and should dwell together in the bonds of fraternal feeling. I want it said of me by those who knew me best, that I always plucked a thistle and planted a flower where I thought a flower would grow. Be with a leader when he is right, stay with him when he is still right, but leave him when he is wrong. You cannot help people permanently by doing for them what they could and should do for themselves. When I'm getting ready to reason with a man, I spend 1/3 of my time thinking about myself and what I am going to say, and 2/3 thinking about him and what he is going to say. I happen temporarily to occupy this big White House. I am living witness that any one of your children may look to come here as my father's child has. A house divided against itself cannot stand. I believe this government cannot endure, permanently half slave and half free. I do not expect the Union to be dissolved, I do not expect the house to fall. But I do expect it will cease to be divided. It will become all one thing or all the other. The ballot is stronger than the bullet. Those who write clearly have readers, those who write obscurely have commentators. You cannot build character and courage by taking away people's initiative and independence. Education does not mean teaching people what they do not know. It means teaching them to behave as they do not behave.